Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. For this trip we actually went out to the mountains. We went out to the Siffler wilderness area. Specifically we went out to see the Siffleur Falls area. We stayed at the 2 O'clock Creek Campground that was run by a company that's running it for Alberta parks, I guess you'll say. It was pretty comfortable, very relaxing. Setting up our tent here. My wife inside, she's not doing CPR. She's got a pump on one of her air mattresses, just in case you want to know. Beautiful area around this campground. Very nice views. Highly recommended. It's got about 26 spaces. It's random, so it's first come, first serve. But it was pretty quiet when we were there. And going into the first evening here. Oh yeah, the area was just full of bugs, so we decided to get a smudge going here. And the smoke did work, it did get rid of the bugs. And then it was time for the first night's sleep. The next morning was very beautiful. Moon in the sky. Mountains with the new day showing. Very beautiful. Very nice place. The only bad thing about the moon in the evening, though, was that it kept the stars away. So there's our trail. So we went from the trailhead along the road there, which is Highway 11, and then we went all the way to Siffleur Falls. Yeah, I'm not sure the exact history of that monument. It was the 1st Canadian Parachute Battalion. It was formed in 1942 during World War II. It was fairly early when we got up here. We were there about 7:30 in the morning. The days were very hot. It was running from about 35 degrees to 40, so we wanted to get there before the heat started. The Siffleur Falls area is, it's actually 3 separate waterfalls on the Siffleur River, which is a tributary to the North Saskatchewan. And the falls themselves are a short distance from the David Thompson Highway, which is Highway 11. It was still fairly high with the water level. We got as far as the second falls, and as the video goes on here, you'll see that we weren't able to get to the third. Suspension bridge, pretty cool. Beautiful views. It's too bad with the GoPro here. It does tend to flatten things out. The river was a lot more energetic than it looks, a lot more rapids. You'll especially see that with this next piece of water that we cross next. It was a lot louder and a lot more energy than the GoPro really gives you the idea of. It's a fairly long bridge too. Unfortunately, it looks like it's a system where we gotta wait for whoever's crossing to finish before you get on. Luckily, again, because we were there so early in the morning, we were able to get across without anybody coming from the opposite direction. But I think it would be a little difficult to cross if 2 people met. It seemed to be very hot and dry there, but a lot of lush vegetation. These guys are lady slippers. I know of the version in the Manitoba prairies. This is a mountain version, obviously. Here's a second river, and yeah, it's pretty wild. This is the one that'll lead you right up to the Siffleur Falls area, and it was pretty wild. Again, the GoPro doesn't really give you the idea of how strong this river is, but it gives you a fairly good idea. Not a suspension bridge this time, just an iron one. Looks like it's got enough room to cross if two groups of people met. A lot of signage around warning to stay behind the fences. A little bit of fear of falling over the side here. Oh yeah, there's lots of these guys. There's trails of ants doing their stuff all over the place as you walked up the hill here. Keeping themselves busy. This is just before the falls area itself, the first one. You can see the river over the many years has kept it pretty deep. Yeah, some more signage warning. There have been people that have died along this trail. A little bit more of a view of the same area, looking from the bridge here, or the observation, I guess. It's a beautiful walk, definitely worth it. Starting to get a bit of a view of the falls there, a little bit. You can see the observation deck there. There's the falls themselves. First one. Very impressive. And very loud. I hear it gets smaller as the year goes on. We got there about just before July 1st. So when we were there, it was still pretty powerful. Yeah, and this is what I was shooting. This tree, I don't know how it survived in there, but it seemed to be well rooted and not moving. These, like I said before, the river has obviously been shallower, because if you look closely there, you can see somebody's put up a nikshook. More than likely towards the fall. It was a beautiful day. Lots of sun. And lots of great trails. So this is up this stream now from the first falls. I believe this is supposed to be one of the falls, but we really couldn't nail it down. It could be a falls, but it looks like a lot of rapids, so I'm not sure if this was actually it or not. So I can't really say whether that's number 2 or not. Oh yeah, somebody decided to do a lot of camping in here, so they stuck a sign right in the middle of the campground saying no camping. Yeah, so at this point we were feeling some jolts under our feet, and we were kind of unsure of what was causing that. And I think what it could have been was the water's got so much energy and power that it's moving boulders under and hitting the bedrock, which would resonate.
Yeah, I think in this case we'll take the lower path.
So yeah, here we're starting to try to get to what we thought was the way towards the third falls, and as you can see here, the area has been completely washed out by a quick creek coming from the upper left to the lower right. And it's very small right now, which you'll see in a minute. But it washed this whole area out, and the walls and the kind of climbing that we would have to have done to make this happen to get to the next falls didn't seem like a wise choice. We were already pretty far away from any people at this point. Most people seem to come as far as the first falls and then come back. So yeah, I took this just to show you what the stream is like now. Quite a bit smaller, but if you look back there, you can see the banks where it's cut the soil. And that's, again, the GoPro makes that look small, but they probably were 10 to 12 feet, so definitely not climbable. So on that, we decided we'd start heading back. And ready for a well-deserved rest after all that. Next evening, so here comes the next night of sleeping. Beautiful night again, very calm, but hot. 36, I think it was.
Yeah, I think we'll be okay with water. I didn't drink much water last night. I got these two. Feels.
I drank like Gatorade, and like I didn't need to go. It's like it just.
Yeah, I know, that was.
So for this day, we decided to go to a creek that's behind the 2 o'clock campground called the 2 o'clock Creek. And oh yeah, this is all over the place. Some bug has been eating the leaves. And every poplar or aspen, depending on where you come in the country, had this. The 2 o'clock Creek trail that we're on here eventually will take you up to 2 o'clock Ridge, but we went as far as this creek because it was very hot that day. The whole reason we were walking up here was to get away from the heat. You'll see just how much we were wanting and needing this cool creek water. You have no idea how good that felt. It was so hot that day, and the cool water was just what we needed. Again, a very strong stream here. It was so loud that you couldn't even hear yourself think. So it's very hard rapids, very fast water.
Here's we have to cross. Here's we have to cross.
This gets you across onto the trail that would again take you up to 2 o'clock Ridge. Would not recommend doing this. Somebody put it here. My guess is it probably wasn't anybody to do with Alberta Parks. It was sturdy enough, but if the water had been a little faster, probably not. But yeah, so you take this up and that would take you up into the mountains. And this is as far as we went. We turned back and we were more interested in getting cool in the stream. Of which we enjoyed hugely. You can see the bugs. So many bugs around here. And then we came back down the hill after our cool stream.
Good morning.
Good morning. We were awake last morning.
Best morning.
Yeah, slept
Till 7.
till 7.
That never happens.
Really good sleep. And back home.
So we're gonna eat breakfast, pack up, and then we're gonna go back home.
Maybe have a nap before we leave.
Probably not. Get out of here before it becomes 36 degrees again. Yeah, you're all right with the window, but not on the rest of it.